the Niners MVP runner-up. I'm still not going to give it to Trent Williams or Nick Bosa, but I acknowledge that those two are probably the best players.
I've got one.
Go ahead. Who do you got?
What do you think about Elijah Mitchell?
That's exactly who I was going to say. Thank you. Go. You took the words out of my mouth.
And I'm sorry for Trent, because I know that Trent springs the run game.
I was going to say Elijah Mitchell.
Therefore, in the morality of this, I think we have to pin something on Trent's, a bronze medal at least, on his chest.
Nothing against Trent Williams. He is a superb elite player, the best player on the team. We're talking value, though, because he was doing his thing, being elite when they were 3-5. So was Nick Bosa. So we're trying to quantify the turnaround, and Elijah Mitchell, to me, is the runner-up. Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just the fact that he's a good runner. It's that he is highly absorbent of impacts. He is ground and pound, smash mouth football.
They've never had a running back like this.
In the heyday of like the Frank Gore days.
Yes.
That's what he brings to this team.
Yes.
I love Frank Gore.
Mostert didn't.
Great receiving back, but Elijah Mitchell is actually physically more of a beast.
It's crazy. Like Mostert was great, but Mostert wasn't a starter. Mostert wasn't anyone they trusted to give more than 10 carries a game until that one game when the Packers couldn't touch him. But Mitchell is, I mean, when he plays, they give him at least 20 carries, and they with total confidence. He is the bell cow that they've never had since Kyle Shanahan got here, and he allows Kyle to take the game out of Jimmy's hands. Because while Jimmy does,
Hyde was supposed to be.
Yeah, right. Yeah, while Jimmy does certain things well, he's not a bad quarterback. He throws too many interceptions. It's quantifiable. His interception rate is above the league average. You have to take the ball out of his hands, otherwise he's going to lose the game for you. Mitchell allows you to do that. You can run that. You can commit to the run with Mitchell in the game. If he weren't on the team, Debo would be helpful as a running back, but you can't give him 20 carries. Like eventually the ball would have to go back to Jimmy's hands. You'd have to pass, and interceptions would be an issue again. And so Mitchell allows that to, not be a problem. Mitchell's really freaking important. And to me, it's too bad that there's not like Debo's a great change of pace running back. But if there was one more they trusted, like Wilson or Hasty, this team could probably ride their running game all the way to a Super Bowl victory. But if the thing about Mitchell is he's gotten hurt like 4 or 5 times this year. If he gets hurt during the playoffs, this offense has to go back into Jimmy Garoppolo's hands, and I don't trust that. So Mitchell's really important. It's too bad they can't give him a breather every once in a while. He's that important.
They can't give him a breather.
They don't want to.
They don't want to. Exactly. And as I look to next year, we have to bring back Mostert. Those 10 carries that he might take one to the house per game, that's a great 1-2. That's a 1-2 punch I cannot actually find anywhere else. In my football knowledge, I've never seen that.
I just hope Mostert's knee is okay. I mean, it lasted 2 carries this year. I don't know what's up with that. It might be done.
Jeff Wilson has to come back. I mean, even
Sermon came back today.
Had a decent game as well. Yeah. So, I mean, this is
he's good. He's a good receiver. They never give him carries. He should get carries. But also, Sermon got activated from IR yesterday.
Trey Sermon, to me, is going to be like Elijah Mitchell light. He can catch the ball. He's a bruiser. He has the ability to really take some hits from the D-line. So I figure that Trey Sermon, he should get like 4 to 6 carries. Now, the question is, going into a playoff game, I don't see Kyle Shanahan's more emotional style of coaching where he makes decisions based on how he feels rather than what he sees. Sometimes I just don't think he's going to play Sermon that much.
Here's what I tweeted yesterday. I said, as long as Deebo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell are healthy, the Niners can beat anyone. And I believe it. But how long is Elijah Mitchell going to be healthy? Deebo's been he missed 1 game this year. Elijah Mitchell's missed a few. He missed 6 games. And how many games in a row has he played? That's my question. I feel like this team goes as far as Elijah Mitchell takes it, which is kind of a strange thought when this is a team that has Deebo, Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, all pros. No, they're going to go as far as their rookie 6th-round running back, who's really freaking good. You compare his rookie stat line to Terrell Davis's rookie stat line. I mean, I think Terrell Davis had 237 carries. Mitchell had 207. They both averaged 4.7 yards per carry. Like, this is Kyle Shanahan's Terrell Davis right now. He's that confident in him, using him like that. And Mike rode Terrell Davis, not John Elway, Terrell Davis to 2 Super Bowl victories. If you remember, I mean, you do.
I do. I love Terrell Davis. I grew up with
Terrell Davis. Yeah. And so now Kyle's trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, my defensive end on my team was a Broncos fan, and I was the safety. So he and I used to, watch all of the games together. So I got to see a lot of Terrell Davis. That was his favorite player.
He was so great. And then he tore his ACL right before that was an injury that you could kind of bounce back from. Brad says I got a touchdown pass from Debo to say teams don't have that great of a read on it. What?
I think he's referring to the Debo pass where he's now 1 for 2. And they just kind of let Jawan Jennings sit in the end zone. Yeah.
Well, it's because that Debo Samuel run from 20 yards out usually scores touchdowns. I mean, that's such a great wrinkle to package on top of that concept. Man, Kyle is doing such a good job. Again, if he were coaching like this 2 years ago, he'd be a champion. He'd have a ring, more money. I can't believe it took him this long to figure it out, but he figured it out. He could run. He could run to the Super Bowl with this. Chris says Rams just signed Eric Weddle out of retirement. Eric Weddle? Wow. What is it, 40?
Isn't he a safety? He's the safety, right?
Dude, the Rams need a running back. That's what they need. Not Eric Weddle. Haven't they had him before?
What's up, Master J?
What's up, Master J? What's up, Grand Zaza? I hope Kyle uses Trey in the playoffs. He adds a dimension that teams can't account for: mobility, the ability to go deep. I agree, but he won't. Kyle is he won't. And maybe he'll be right, but I think he won't be eventually. Niners going to unleash Trey Sermon like Ohio State did before we drafted Sermon. No, another prediction is that Elijah Mitchell is going to be the only one getting carried. Elijah and Debo in the playoffs. If they didn't trust.
Honestly, I see JaMychal Hasty going out there on third down.
Yeah, that's how they've been doing it. The Niners are 8-3 outside of the division. Those losses were to both number 1 seeds in that ugly weather Colts game. Both 1 seed losses were by 5 points combined.
It's a good point. It's a good point. We're going to talk about it later, but the Dallas Cowboys have a couple of things uniquely in their favor on defense to mess with Jimmy Garoppolo.